Welcome back to another episode. Hopefully, you've gotten the idea of where this ship is going. In this episode, I'll be going into some problem-solving strategies. Well, you know the drill, so let's get started.
I'm outstanding, but not outstanding for the bus like you fucks. Picture me broke, what is you nuts? It's the maestro, conducting crime orchestras. Couldn't afford the crust, now we got enough bread to make your organs bust. Complexion of a lush, your first perception's plush. The man's scarred for life, infections wanna pus. Yucky.
Several problems are bound to spring out while working that may come to you as a surprise. My mentor did not make me aware of these things that are prone to happen every now and then. While I haven't experienced everything on the list, they are definitely worth knowing about, and being armed with information will allow you to help others too. So probably one of the more common occurrence would be passing out. At first, this can be quite a traumatizing experience for you. A rush of empathy and panic will pump into your brain, riddling your body with anxiety. This isn't even the worst part about pass-outs, which I'll continue in a moment. Passing out is usually brought on by several things. Watching the needle going into the skin, a sudden rush of adrenaline that brings on a panic attack, or your client did not eat and has low blood sugar. In general, primary symptoms include sweating, heating up, dry mouth, paleness, blood draining from face, and dizziness. It's important to communicate with your client and let them know that if they feel sweaty or lightheaded, to make sure they ask you for a break. You should lay your client flat on your massage table or bed and offer water if they feel faint or uncomfortable. In rare occurrences, if your client passes out, they may go into convulsions. This is honestly terrifying. It's happened to me twice in my career, and one time I was alone. Although I don't think there is recorded history of someone dying while being tattooed, I wouldn't want to be the first to have this happen. Lay them back and turn their head to the side and hold them while they go through it, making sure they don't fall off the table. Have 911 ready, as they will give a glassy-eyed stare until they come to. Smelling salts have been used, but I just let them come to, at their own rate. From there, I give them plenty of time to recover. Make sure they hydrate. Every single time, however, we continued tattooing with no problems at the client's accord. It's recommended to take CPR courses, but I never have, honestly. I've never needed it even after being in those situations, and I have never seen someone become incapacitated. But it may be required in your area or shop, and it would definitely help to know. Seek a physician. That should always be your initial response while going through a line of questioning. Always remember that you are not a doctor, and to remind your clients of this information. With that said, it's always good to know your stuff. When troubleshooting a potential infection, ask if the local area is still red. Usually you'll notice redness persisting days later. It doesn't matter what kind of bandage you use. The introduction of bacteria from an unsanitary work area or client negligence will cause inflammation. Make sure your client cleans the area with clean hands, an unscented, gentle cleanser at least twice daily. Polysporin will also help clear up infections quite nicely if the infection isn't too far along. If they have yellow-green scabs, the tattoo is pretty much going to heal like shit, blow out and even keloid the skin. Anything blue or purple, and send their ass to the ER. If they require any steroidal creams or antibiotics, they will need to seek out a physician. Always seek out a physician. Another problem that may arise are needle pokes. If you break your glove, therefore introducing contamination into your body, stop tattooing. Remove your gloves, sanitize your hands, wash your hands and sanitize again. Change your needles as they are now considered contaminated. You can continue working, but it's advised to get a blood test as soon as possible. You should also consider getting a hepatitis B vaccination. Build good habits and work professionally to never let this happen. Otherwise, seek a physician. Numbing creams and anesthetics. I thought I'd add this one as it is a common problem for artists. Numbing cream is a double-edged sword, though, for clients. It lasts an hour or two, if your client is lucky, and when it wears off, all of the inflammation hits at once. It's like being neck-deep in a pool of piss, and someone is about to throw a bucket of shit on your face. Do you dunk your head in the piss, or take on the shit? Okay, maybe it's not that bad, but there's nothing worse than clients that can't manage the pain in the first place. If you're going to use numbing creams, make sure the skin doesn't turn pale and gray. That would indicate an allergy to anesthesia. Use it in small areas at a time, like max palm size. It doesn't work as well in very large areas. It tends to wear off quickly and will be less effective if you use first aid sprays. Even after applying a generous layer, adding cling wrap and letting it set for at least an hour, sometimes longer, this is my experience. Some people take numbing creams very well, and in turn makes their skin red and looks swollen, where you can see the pores. This makes the area very difficult to work, and the tattoo will heal faded and washed out looking. It's also easy to get carried away and overwork the skin. Tattoo numb skin at your own discretion. Insufferable clients. Ah, my favorite. Clients are just the best sometimes. Asking for deals, blaming you for everything, crying, screaming, entitlement, condescending, delusional, criminy. How would you solve these problems? I stay professional, stand my ground, and know my boundaries. People often forget about what boundaries are. Out of all the times I almost quit this industry, 90% of the time would have been because of walk-in clientele. You can't be too nice or too intense because shit can escalate. People who want to haggle usually get what they pay for, and I have no guilt for that. Just kidding. Do not do bad tattoos. Know your worth. People that want to waste time should know they're being charged for it. The worst is people that demand they get a spot somewhere on a full schedule, where I've had owners fit them in and they want this and that. Fucking no, bitch. You have 1 hour. My whole day is pushed now. How did I deal with this? I don't take walk-ins anymore. They ruined it for everyone else. Dealing with clientele is an art in itself. Do not let people push you around. Don't let it affect your mental health. It's work and business. Don't take it personally. Confidence. During a tattoo, things can sometimes start going south. Maybe your client is moving a lot, creating a difficult area to work in. Or maybe you aren't pulling lines as well as you think you can. Take a breather. There's nothing wrong with taking a short break to get your bearings. Remember your fundamentals. You can also politely address any issues with your client by asking them if everything is all right. Did they eat? Offer them some water or another beverage if you provide. They may perceive they are moving, but some people aren't totally aware until you bring something up. They might think they are moving or shaking, but just need reassurance. Ask them to control their breathing with long, drawn breaths. You should do the same. Make sure you yourself are fed and hydrated. Sleep deprivation can affect your performance as well. Take care of yourself. Confidence will come with time, but reassure yourself in the moment that you can perform this tattoo and complete the job. Hopefully you have a good mentor that will help you through these experiences. But you won't always. You will sweat. You will heat up when shit goes wrong. You have no choice but to slog on. You can admit to your faults, but you shouldn't during the tattoo process. Your client's physiology will change. You both must remain calm. You will be full of shame, but also remember, there are touch-up sessions. Take it as a learning experience and make sure you build up that tolerance and confidence as your skill also builds. I hope these problem-solving solutions give heed to potential worries. If you have any topics you'd like me to go over, I'd be happy to create a video with my perspective. And as always, make sure you seek out an apprenticeship and advice from professionals. Stay sanitary, planet Earth.